This is what the event data recorder looks like on a 2014 Subaru Impreza in the United States. This is Subaru SSM3. I connected to the ABS module and selected event data recorder. Gave me this option here to choose 4 different possibilities. This first one is from -5 seconds to 0, which I assume 0 being the actual impact. Gives me this prompt here that says asks if I want to save the data, and it says once I do, I won't be able to get it again. So far, that's not true. I can do it a few times, but I haven't disconnected from the ABS module yet. So anyway, I already downloaded it, so I'm just gonna. So anyway, here's what we've got here. There's a slider on top, and it's got the sampling count, and it does end at 5 seconds. So this is 5 seconds before the crash. I was doing, this is about 60 miles per hour, about half on my accelerator, which I remapped, so this wouldn't be the same number from the factory. But anyway, and then whether I had stability control turned on or whether it was disabled. Steering input, I'm dead center right now is what 0 degrees is showing us. And then I'm gonna keep advancing here. Still traveling at 95 kilometers per hour. And now I start to, let's see, one more, I think. No, one more after that. I've let go of the gas completely. And then within the next half second, I've applied the brakes, and you're gonna see this switch to on here. And then in this next half second, you're gonna see that the ABS activity turns to on. And we are at T-minus 1.5 seconds from the crash. You can see I'm pretty rapidly decelerating there. And then at the event, the crash happened, you can see it was at 24 kilometers per hour, and my steering had completely banked to what this amounts to is the right. I can graph this also. There's a graph of all these parameters here. Each division is a half a second. And then exit out of this. Click on event timing here. This shows the longitudinal and lateral acceleration. I don't quite understand what these values are, because acceleration should be in values of kilometers per hour, or there should be something squared on the bottom there. And I don't know if this time has to do with when that max occurred, probably, or if it is somehow corresponding to figuring this out into more typical acceleration units. So I don't quite understand what that is showing, but it does make sense. This is a frontal crash, that my maximum delta would be longitudinal and not lateral. It also gives frontal deployment times, but none of the airbags or seatbelt tensioners were fired, so those are all marked as invalid. They never went off. So this was recorded, but there were no airbag deployments. Whether my seatbelt was fastened, whether the passenger's was fastened, and interestingly, whether someone was sitting in the passenger side, and then interestingly, whether or not I was in reverse. Then this is the data from 0 to 250 milliseconds, and this is just what it amounts to is more acceleration data with 26 positions here. So it looks like it's by the 10th. If I go back far enough, you can see that reading. Then on the last one here, it tells me the number of ignition cycles that I was on when the crash occurred. So I had cycled on this car. The ignition had been turned on for the 12,824th time in the car's life. And then when I downloaded this data, it was the 12,830th time this ignition had been cycled. And it apparently tells me how much time from prior events and how many events have been saved. Just gonna see what this old data, it says it's not recorded. So maybe that's where it goes when I disconnect from the airbag. Yep, and I've never been in any of those types of accidents, so there you go. Shouldn't be any faults. Nope, good.